Alright, looks like everything is working. Silver Override, thank you very much for that follow right there at the start. You are now a member of the herd of Best Cat, which happens to be the very best herd of best cats anywhere in the universe. The universe. You can ask everyone here, they'll tell you the same thing. But again, thank you. I really appreciate that follow. Live long and prosper. Welcome and greetings, Sophants and Sapiens. I am the Low-Life Cat, also known as the Sarcasm Detector on YouTube. And I am a cat, as you can see, a VTuber, and a variety streamer. Tonight we're going to be playing some Star Trek Online. I'm going to unbox a couple of more legendary ships. I might play with this guy a little bit more, I don't know. I really like this ship. Might play with it a little bit. But I'm kind of torn between two ships. There's the Mirror Crossfield, or not the Mirror Crossfield, what am I talking about? The legendary Crossfield, and then the legendary Audi, and I have ideas for builds for both of those. So we should be diving into those very shortly. But first, for those of you who are new here to the stream, I like to do chill and calm content for the most part. There may be mayhem and shenanigans going on screen, but I'll be my usual calm and laid back self. So we're gonna just dive into this. But first, before that, there is an intelligence report that we gotta look through. And that would be this one here that got posted by, I think it was Jeremy Bordigan. Yeah, oh. I keep hiding it there by accident. Calcron. What you see in the background there, that is the Constitution from Discovery Season 2, I believe. Yeah, it's the Discovery Connie, the Donnie. But intelligence report. So here we're talking about the intelligence specialization that was released quite a number of years ago now. Wow, has it been that long since? Wow, okay. I'm starting to feel a bit old now. But yeah, they're changing. They're updating the intel abilities. Starting with the gather intel. I don't know if you guys can read that clearly. Let's see, details. Now take 6 stacks of penetrating scan to cause vulnerability on any rank. Okay, duration of vulnerability increased. Stack of penetrating scan will not be applied while target has vulnerability or blah blah blah. All exposes. And NPCs no longer benefit from lockouts. Okay, and there's a little note from Jeremy right there. Well, the most common player feedback included suggestions of moving the stacks of penetrating scan to be self-targeted. We chose not to pursue this for now, as it both removes the multiplayer aspect of being able to build stacks more quickly with multiple players scanning, which was always the point. It was supposed to have like multiple people with intel stacking the thing on it for it to apply faster. Also makes it similar enough to Command's inspiration mechanic to invade on that territory. That's true. That treads into major rework territory, which we choose to avoid where possible with this particular set of updates. Just cleaning it up really more than anything else. It looks like no major reworks is what I think they're trying to say here. Picard's first ship was a Constellation class. You're correct. I believe that is right. The Intel Bridge Officer abilities. Evade target lock. Wait, hold on. No, if an ability is not called out here, no changes have been made to its functionality. Okay, evade target lock is getting duration increase and some changes. It's being changed from an accuracy penalty to a damage penalty. Now that's interesting. Accuracy debuffs are difficult mechanic to feel or even verify their effectiveness using combat log parsing. Throwing a little bit of shade there, I see. Replacing this with a damage penalty maintains the feel of design while gains more verifiable impact. That's true. Adding in a skill interaction also seems like an obvious choice. So control expertise is what, okay, they tied it with control expertise and control resistance. And that was always a pretty garbage ability, I think. So this maybe make it interesting. We'll have to see. I don't know how useful it's gonna be. Intelligence team. Let's take a look. Now this one's kind of semi-useful. Actually, kind of in certain metas, trying like soloing ISC and stuff. This gets to be pretty good. What threat reduction values on all ranks have been doubled? Okay, that's interesting. If threatening stance is not active on the recipient of this ability, this effect is doubled again. So if I don't have threatening stance active, and I hit myself with Intel team, is the threat reduction quadrupled then? That's what it seems that it's indicating. I don't quite understand. Targeting stealth values are now consistent across all ranks. Defense for buff increased from... Alright, that's good. That's a really good defense buff, by the way. Holy shit, for the rank 3 it's up to 50. The perception buff to recipient to scales with rank. A perception buff. Now, a perception buff is only really useful in PvP. Then again, this this has got some things that are useful in PvP. So yeah, this gives it something that is kind of interesting. Perception buff will help you see cloaked vessels. Depending on how much perception you have, and you can get some crazy amount of perceptions with certain ships and certain consoles, which allows you to actually see cloaked ships anywhere from like 15 to 25 kilometers away. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Adding a perception buff, I don't know, Intel team decloaks you, so if you're cloaked and trying, well no, you wouldn't if you're running the perception, the spotter build, then you're in a nebula, you can't be cloaked. It's interesting. That's a interesting. I would like to maybe try that if I ever do PvP again. I don't know if that's a thing, but this is certainly making it interesting. Intel was always very interesting in PvP. Let's just place it that way. Okay, with these changes, we think the power now has unique niche to fill as a threat modifier ability, improving the targeting stealth values associated with rank 1 and 2. May also allow these abilities to fill a role that they were previously too weak to effectively fill. This ability also remains the sole means of removing the debuffs from gather intel in PvP scenario. There you go. Subspace Beacon. Oh, now this is trash. Let's see what they've done to it. All ranks now have the same distance limit of 20 kilometers. Okay, added the brief period of untargetable after teleport. Teleport will now reset all threat when threatening stance is not active. So if you do have threatening stance active, teleport will not reset all threat? That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Added a bridge officer cooldown reduction to the teleport which scales with rank. Okay, added clarification. Fix long-standing errors with how multiple ranks would interact. Okay. In addition to adding utility in the form of a threat dump and a scaling buff CD reduction. This review offered us the opportunity to fix text. Okay, blah blah. I don't know how useful Subspace Beacon is gonna be. I'd have to play around with it, but from the description, it's still kind of meh. Let's move on. Electromagnetic Pulse Probe. Flight speed increased by 50% at all rank. Okay, that's really good. Added electrical damage to probe's pulses while in transit to destination. Foes within 2 kilometers will take damage. Now that's interesting. Now, damage now scales with particle generator skill. Disable duration now scales with control expertise. Now that is good. So now you can increase its effectiveness with skills. That is definitely good. Base duration of pulsing disabled, not final detonation, has been reduced. The benefits less from control expertise. Probe will no longer detonate until at least 10 seconds have passed, even if launched at very close range. This power is now labeled as a control bridge officer ability and can interact with applicable effects and triggers such as secondary deflectors. Okay, that's very good. By traveling faster, I thought it already was considered a control ability for, or thinking about Ionic Turbulence, never mind. By traveling faster, living longer, and utilizing the skills of its owner, our hope is that this friendly little nuisance gains a footing as a valid alternative to other bridge officer abilities by making it a control ability. That certainly is interesting. It's a disable, so yeah, actually this might kind of be interesting to test out. Ionic Turbulence. Projectile now travels to its destination approximately 3 times fast. Okay, that's good. That's amazing for Ionic Turbulence. Damage resistance debuff increases slightly at all ranks. Okay. And now scales with Ox Power. That is awesome. Speed debuff now scales with control expertise. So more control, the more the targets are slowed. This power is now labeled as a control bridge officer ability and can interact with applicable effects and triggers such as secondary deflectors. Now, it was already considered a control bridge officer abilities for the, or no, it's considered an intel. I'm thinking about Spore Infused. It's because it's an intel ability. That's why it triggers Spore Infused. But now that it's a control bridge officer ability, it will work with all the other control ability doohickey things that have an interaction. So that's really, so like psychological warfare, for example. Exactly. Fix a series of errors with rank 2 and 3 of this ability that could cause the cloud to be centered on the user instead of their intended target. Okay, that has happened to me before. I've seen that bug. Primary player feedback focused on travel speed and debuff severity as compared to alternatives. Our primal internal review supported this feedback and became the focus of the updates applied to this. So this is actually kind of really useful. Now I use this actually. I do use this because on my control builds that have Spore Infused Anomaly, this is a double trigger of Spore Infused. It'll trigger it when you fire this ability off, and it'll fire off again whenever this ability actually lands the probe, the projectile. Once it lands, it triggers the Spore Infused the second time. That's why I use it. But getting it at moving faster and more debuff, this is freaking awesome. This is fucking crazy. So there is going to be an improvement to supercontroller, the first supercontroller. It has, it actually uses that, so that's kind of interesting. Kinetic Magnet was another one of those useless ones. Increased kinetic resistance debuff at all ranks. Kinetic resistance debuff, that's actually, okay, that's not too bad. It's not, I don't think those are percentile. Duration of all ranks are now normalized for 15 seconds. Number of mines, torpedoes that can be drawn to an affected target has been increased from 3 to 6. All right, that's interesting. The range at which mines can be drawn So an affected target has been increased from 5 to 10 kilometers. Reminder, this ability no longer has a fragile damage cap. Which was, was it like the magnet was only up until they took a certain amount of damage or something like that? Which meant that it was basically useless. I think that's what they're talking about. Such a clever ability that sees so little use. So many players that offered feedback did not seem to know that the fragility limits were removed long ago. Hopefully these numeric improvements may allow it to find a place among players that enjoy using kinetic damage to defeat their foes. Augie, if you're out there, I think you're going to be testing this out at some point. All right, moving on to surgical strikes. Now this is important. Surgical strikes used to be a good ability, but then it got nerfed into oblivion. And then they buffed beam overload to the point where it's freaking awesome, but it basically took the place of surgical strikes. It did what surgical strikes used to do. Alright, so let's see, what did they do to surgical strikes? Increase damage multipliers at all ranks. Rank 1, 30%, rank 2, 40%, rank 3 by about 50%. Standardize the amount of crit chance and accuracy to all ranks to 30% of both. So it gives you like a plus 30% crit chance and accuracy. Added the scaling amount of crit severity to all ranks. Plus 40, plus 60, plus 80. That's interesting. Updating this power was a tricky course, since the improvements made to beam overload a few years back. Its identity has been mired. Okay, coupled with the poor numeric performance, the ability languished unused. This was especially true for high-end players who already itemized for high crit chance. There comes a point where more crit H isn't as meaningful choice. Okay. While the boost to the damage multipliers was a bit of a no-brainer, this would not address the underlying use case for those high-end players. So an additional crit severity boost has also been rolled into the ability. Hey, Arctic Knight. With this added, our hope is that this ability will now be a viable choice. That is interesting. So the damage increase, that's gonna have to be tested. The nice thing about surgical strikes is that it basically works like a beam overload, but for cannons. So imagine like the buff that like beams get from beam overload, that being applied. So the firing rate reduction, but the increase to damage output being applied to heavy cannons. Now surgical strike works on both cannons and beams. So the other benefit of this is that you can, or of surgical strikes, is that you can fire off beams and cannons at the same time. This thing is gonna, this is gonna trigger both of them, so you don't need two separate bridge officer abilities. Since sometimes things are quite cramped on a ship. And fire that off. Now, what would be interesting if this works out really well is running this on a ship that has Intel primary, Miracle Workers secondary. I can't think of a ship off the top of my head right now that has that particular combination. Maybe you guys out there know a little bit better. But you can run surgical strikes with mixed armaments synergy, basically just firing off dual heavy cannons with a dual beam bank or two, and that should be a crazy interesting build, maybe as a replacement for rapid fire. That might actually be very, very interesting, although there is no a really good cooldown reduction, I guess. Well, no, we'll see. We'll see how this works out. This might actually be very, very interesting how this plays out. We're gonna actually have to wait for the the thing to be released. That's next update. There's a little bit more. Transport Warhead. Another trash ability. Remove the firing arc requirements. Okay, that's interesting. Recharge time reduced from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. Okay, now that's pretty good actually. It's a rinky-dink little ability. But if you can fire it from any angle, and you can fire it off every 15 seconds, then yeah, maybe just like the rank 1 of these would be good. By giving the players an ability that removes the firing arc restrictions on one of their weapon types. Yeah, because this is for torpedoes, right? Although I think it's still one torpedo at a time that it transports, but our hope is that this ability now has a useful niche it can fill, especially for the ships of the lower end maneuverability that wish to use torpedoes alongside. Okay, blah blah. Alongside the drastic reduction to this ability's cooldown down to 15 seconds, it's more readily usable with higher frequency. So that's kind of interesting to have that ability and maybe just throw it at the end of your keybind and just have it keep going off every 15 seconds. It'll just transport one of your torpedoes up forward. Yeah, I think that's still a kind of interest. Pitch. At this time, we've chosen to focus on a simple revision. Increased use of use, feeling of usefulness, impact on gameplay. When is this coming out? The timing. March 17th. Next week. Next patch, looks like, right? Not this Thursday's patch, next Thursday's patch. Yeah, okay. Consoles are gonna be a little bit delayed. Okay, so it's not a major rework, but it's just minor tweaks and changes that will hopefully make some improvement to that particular specialization. That should be interesting to test out. I mean, they did pretty well with the changes to command. The changes to command were actually really fucking amazing. Pardon my language. I'm not really sorry though. No, they were really, really good. The changes to command were really good. So I'm looking forward to actually testing out these changes for Intel. Right, I have the thing blocked. Yeah, man. Knock up already. I had the UI turned off. So like, where's the bloody frickin' dock button? There's no dock button. It's because I was hiding it and forgot that I had hit it like a dumbass. Alright, so let's go take a look here. Get new starship. And we have a choice of legendaries. And there's still the Connie that we haven't played with, which, by the way, happens to be an Intel ship. So maybe we'll schedule the Connie, the Kelvin Connie, up for the 17th of March. Also, look at that turn rate and inertial modifier and impulse modifier. So yeah, you can definitely stick a bunch of weight. It is a battle cruiser, so we can put a whole bunch of cannons on it. And surgical strike. Hell yeah, this would be like a insane surgical strike cruiser. This is what we're flying currently, the flight deck carrier. Kind of want to play with that. There's this guy. The Verity. It's got a lieutenant commander. It's a continuing mission, team defense bonuses, and it's got all the bloody escort, all the bloody consoles of everything on there. I think I'll hold off. I think I will jump over to the this guy, but let's just take a look at what else we've got. There's a legendary Sovereign, which is also a interesting ship. It's still an assault cruiser, although this actually is a decent setup. What is it? It's still a 4-4 though. That's Miracle Worker. Is it? Yeah, it's a Miracle Worker. Okay. So it cannot fit cannons, unfortunately. The Miracle Worker light cruiser. I don't know. I don't know about that. There's this guy. Actually, what does it have for a trait? The best diplomat. The best diplomat. Yeah, okay, I gotta get that then. I gotta run this just for that trait. I wish that Intel Dreadnought had more oomph. Which Intel Dreadnought? There's more than one. I think Elven Intel Dreadnought would be the Vengeance, you mean? The Vengeance has plenty of oomph on it. The Vengeance hits pretty hard. Alright, so we're probably going to be playing with it. What does this have for us here? Field Modified Overload Support. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of neat, actually. This one was what? I already looked at. You have Transcranial Sensor Link. Shield Pen. Oh, okay. What about the Legendary Voyager? What does that give us? Extensively modified warp core, full impulse and quantum slipstream. Inertial during full impulse. Wow, okay, that's kind of crazy. 25 turn speed during, okay. Bonuses linger, significantly improved flight speed and turn speed during quantum slipstream. Hey Ray, how you doing? Welcome, we're just looking through ship. I already have this guy. So there's just this guy that has the temporal anchor. Plus it gives us a couple of traits. So I didn't have like all the cross fields except for the mirror one, and I believe this gives the Terran Machinations, which I don't have. Attack pattern, bridge officer ability, exotic damage for 15 seconds. When activating control bridge officer abilities, weapon firing cycle. So this is actually perfect for the kinds of builds I do on my cross fields. Ironically, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to start off with a legendary, and then we'll work our way. The Claiborne. Let's rename them. The Albanian. Valparaiso. Maracaibo, the Grampian. It's got some weird names showing up now under the randomized. Viola. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna call it the Ukraine. There we go. Thought you have this already. No, I won the legendary pack just this weekend actually. I have only opened up 2 of the ships, so I'm just, opening up another one. Spent the beginning of the stream actually talking about the Intel report, the updates to Intel. That is kind of interesting. There's a cat over here. How you doing, Solak? What did we call it? The Ukraine? Yeah, okay. Now, hold on. Do I have room to fit a ship here? For ship. Okay. So let's see. These beams are track. What do we have here? I think I already have one of these. Mycelial Ambush, and this is the weaponized helical torsion phaser and crit damage. Player-based physical damage, hold chance 6 times per second up to 2 foes physical damage. That's kind of interesting. That's definitely an interesting console. Just done 3 graphics tonight that I am proud of. Okay. When Strange New World comes out, that chip is going to be popular AF. The doohickey, yeah, the flight deck carrier. There we go. Words difficult remembering. Fuck that shit. Let's keep going. Do I have the? Well, let's ready it first, and then we can work from here. It's a little bit easier. Really, that's the ensign is the universal. Oh, okay. Well, this can be a torpedo boat for sure. Say, grab what? Temporal, really? So this could be a recursive shearing boat, is what you're saying. Entropic redistribution. Okay, so we're going to put in. I think we will call we will make it a torpedo build, meta torpedo problem. But with like crazy control and shit, maybe. I think we can still go with a Photonic Officer 1. Pop in a cold in space, and then over here. How much control do I want to actually put on this? All right, this is definitely going to be a torpedo high yield. And a chemo. And usually we have entwined running. Ah, okay, so that's what's missing here. We won't be able to run entwined unless I drop chemo and the beta. Damn. Okay. Well, that sucks. That sucks big time. So maybe we go with something other than torpedoes. I mean, maybe we can go with a Cytor. Cytor of some kind. So my little feed just keeps jiggling here. Why do you keep doing that? It keeps distracting. Hopefully it'll stop. It's just the little feed here just keeps updating and it jiggles when it updates, but there's no actual new on the feed. So it's just like, yeah, what are you doing? Right, me. Put in something better here. RB, for example. Less control, but I guess really focus on that grav well, getting everything together on that grav well. And yeah. And maybe we give it beam overload as well. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Let's not go with that. All right, I think I have an idea of where we have. We have a couple of control abilities with the cold and space grav well. Subspace Vortex is one that I don't like because it's not that good. I mean, it's good, but sometimes you can't trigger it, and it's kind of random. I still don't understand why it can't be triggered. So maybe a structural analysis in its spot. And if we're focusing, I mean, we do have the Rhea. We could probably fire off a Rhea there. All right, well, let's go with this. And then torpedo. Where is it? Where's my pep? There's my pep. We were using this guy as well, right? What other torpedoes do I have? Agony Phaser, Corrosive, Crystalline, Dark Matter, Delphic, House Martok. I think Neutronic was one of them. These guys, what, Advanced Fleet? I have a whole bunch of these Advanced Fleet things. Advanced Fleet, Nausicaan. And then we go to the trash torpedoes. Disruptor energy. Advanced inhibiting, okay. Additional shield damage. I think it was just the dark energy and just the neutron. For aft weapon, guess we're gonna have to put some mine. The Nakura, and then put the modulating out. This might be basically very temporary, but we're gonna have a bit of fun with the temporary as we're going in. I'm just gonna put the revolutionary set while we think about the consoles that we're gonna put in. So let's see here. Bellums was my other bellum. Reset that. Okay, that looks good. Do I actually want to put torpedo consoles on there? Or do we go like all out again on... Yeah, you know what? Let's not focus on the weapon torpedoes. They're there to do some damage, not much. But here's where we'll add clicky consoles and all the fun things. I think this is still disapproved of because it messes people up. Phaser damage. Summon immunity drone. Creates a rampart deflection drone for up to 10 seconds, immune to all damage. Drone may be targeted or destroyed. That's interesting. But what does it give us? Crit severity. Very low amounts. Damage for all energy weapons. Max hull capacity. Mycelial Ambush. Fuck it, why not? Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun with this build. We probably want the Torment engine and Lorca's. Oh, I don't have anything to upgrade it with, right? Damn it. Never. I just remember That's fine. That's we're probably gonna need. We only have 3 more consoles, eh? So that just leaves that. Where is it? That. And maybe. It's the proton stabilizer. I haven't used that one in ages. Is that you? Weapon power, engine power, EPS, and proton weapon. That's part of the set. That's a 2-piece. Photon projectile and crit chance. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, what other interesting thing we have? Where's the web console? There we go. Then we'll put in some, let's see, speedy, some of that, and then I'll just put in a red mat. The red matter's fine. Skills and shit, let's get into space. That way it'll stick and save. That's Augie's territory. What did I just do? That was Augie's territory. The torpedoes. Ice confusion. Intel temporal or temporal. And strategist constable is actually really good. But we'll go with strategist. Traits. I don't know why I'm taking them all out. I feel like starting with a fresh slate is better. Good day to die. Adaptive offense. Bulkhead. Context is really good. So is Duelist. I think I will have Duelist. Feel the weight. Fragment. Now this is good to have. We don't have a lot of things there though. This one, intelligence agent, attaché, and inspirational leader. Particle. And psychological. Okay, we'll keep spore infused, I think. Actually, we might take that off because we're only using. Well, no, we have a lot of temporal abilities, although we only have 2 anomalies that we can fire off. We have plenty of. You know what? Let's take it out. That's just universal design. We're not actually have a lot of them. Sad. No. Withering barrage, we can take it. We can take out everything. Okay. Cool. Oh, starting from the top. Torpedoes, buffs, kinetic. But a ceaseless. I will go with electrified anomalies. Actually, this is a pretty interesting build where you could run exotic modulation on this ship because it does have temporal abilities. Bonus exotic damage. I'm not using any temporal abilities though, so we're not going to use it. Hull shield regen and subsystem power to self and nearby enemies greater than the sum is actually a really good trait. With gravity well. Improved photonic. I don't have a Boimler there. And one more. Oh dear, one more. You can have a Rhea in there. I suppose we could have Spore infused back. Ruin of our enemies is actually probably the best thing to have in there. Time to kill. It's also a good one. What is this? Weaponized. Applies a dot during weapon firing mode. Oh, that's the other one from the other ship. Okay. Chronoton distortions to weapon attack. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I think I'll go with Ruin of our enemy. Yeah, okay. This one should be still down here. Magnified firepower. Auxiliary power configuration. No, we'll go with how is it? Hardened sensor? No, it's not hardened sensors. It is enhanced sensor. There we go. Bridge officer. Let's go check this out. Con. Okay, so we have these for tactical. Let's go down to the bottom of the list. Create aftershock gravity well. And the other one was a matter antimatter specialist, I think. There was one that does extra damage on emergency power to Ox as well. Increase exotic damage when using emergency power to off. And then chance for gravity one. Less. There you go. That's sick. I think the ship is set up. Well, gear one. Still need to do the trade. And I swear we'll be flying. We'll be flying soon. We'll be there soon. I'm usually pretty fast at setting ships up. That's the black alert. What is this? The Mycelial. The beacon. Yeah, okay, that's what. Put that there. Look, a maneuver. Okay, that's what it's called. There we go. Yep, I put it in the wrong spot. Do have mines. So warp spread. It's a tractor beam. It's our adept. And the web mines. Okay, no, I think that's good. Not sure about that tractor beam though. So maybe we can just have a polarized hull. Or a tachyon beam. Tachyon beam. Let's do it like that. Block that. Go down to that. That's kind of crummy, actually. But what can you do? Power balance is fine. It's fine. All right, let's go. Let's go blow up something. I don't know if this is like a good ship or not. It's a quick Argala. We'll see how it fares in Argala. What's with the new intel? They're buffing intel is what it is. They've we can go through the report again, but they're not redoing intel. They're just tweaking some of the things. Let's give that. Maybe I need more oomph on my torpedo firing. What is my stat? Well, I should have built this like super controller too. Although I forget what I have on super controller 2 now. Oh wow, that was like a one-shot hit. What got me? High yield gravimetric. Oh, I am so stupid. Okay. Derp, 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 derp. Yeah. In that case, let us put it in subspace vortex. Yeah. I might as well put that in there. So in that case, where did it go? We'll go with that for now. The next ship sail getting the Somerville. You don't have the Somerville yet? Oh yeah, it gets sucked in. Ah, look how fast I got pulled in. Space just time. Oh, He's dead before I got to fire off the space jizz. Damn it. Well. Oops. No, I meant to depart. Let's go. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's see. How much did we level up? Hey, Stu. How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Did you see the changes that are coming up to Intel? All right, so we got all the way up to 5 here. So we got I now have Terran Machination. Cool. Temporal Anchor is next. And that's going to take a minute to get there. Ray, you said you wanted to help. You wanted to help out? Do I have you on my friends list? I should. There you is. And there you is. Okay. Okay, so let us do. Let's do 9th rule then. Mad Dog Mikey, how you doing? All right, let's go do a couple of these.
Red alert! All hands to battle stations.
This one for Solak.
Black alert.
That's one for Stu. Although I should make you I should make you a YouTube one. I'm gonna make you a YouTube one. I have to remember to make you a YouTube one.
Black alert.
There's one for Mikey. Yeah. 9th rule. Sorry about that. I just had to do a couple of shout outs for my peeps here. I should just send out a memo to everyone for that. Well, no, we already know.
As far as science vessels go, is the tip-top champion of space magic right here, folks.
How you doing, Augie? See? Augie's got his own custom commands, too. See? A cat in space? Impossible. So you got one of my builds on your crossfield. Or a similar build, anyways. I am in the burnt pancake at the moment. You are in... Oh, a ship. Okay, you're in a ship called the burnt pancake. Can I survive this? Can I survive? Oh, no, I did not. Well, and you going in, I was going to take a lot of... It looks like a burnt pancake. Do I even want to know? I'm kind of curious. Which ship is it? Fleet Phantom. Ah, okay. Damn it. So I guess you guys have all seen the doohickey about the thingamabob. We'll take a look at it again in a second. Can I get this bloody fucking space jizz out? Let's go space jizz. Oh, damn it, they're one-shotting me at it. Oh, and I made a quick video of my chairs falling apart for Twitter. Okay, I'm planning on working on a video today, but all I got done is the intro and outro because I spent all day hanging out on Twitch. Well, don't do that. Thanks, Ray. That should hopefully get me up to tier 6. Yep, that's the tier 6. Alright, well, time to park this. And maybe think up of a different ship to fly. Or go back to the other one. Going back to the other one is a choice as well. Oh, right. Hold on. I have damage. Damn it. That's right. You too can repair your ship with the components that you leave in your bank. Let me switch over here and open up that blog again, if I can find it again. Arc games, here we go. News. Here we go, Star Trek Online. Come on. News. I still have to watch that My Life at Warp Speed thing, by the way. I gotta take a look at that. Let's take a look here. So yeah, it's really old, 2014, 8 years. Wow, it's kind of been around for a lot, and it's broken. Ton of damage on your part. Hold on. I don't regret it. I had some very engaging conversation. Good. At least I got the intro and the outro done. Then the rest is just, footwork. Ton of damage on your part. Okay, thank you. 225 on the Nexus. So about, 175 on SXM? I don't understand what that is. The pitch. Ease of use, feeling of usefulness, and impact on gameplay. Big change here is the Intel mechanic. That still feels cumbersome to me. For the most part, things die too fast for it to actually matter. Well, if you're talking about our level of gameplay. elite content. Maybe for lower end to mid-tier gameplay, it might be more viable. But when stuff dies out too fast, I'm not sure if this is going to be interesting to us. We'll see. It definitely still a PvP thing. If a target lock, I don't know if that's gonna be that useful. Maybe as a niche or a gimmick someone puts on their ship. It is a disable though, and the base duration of the disable untargetable scales, so it might be worth testing out. Maybe. Intelligence team, it was already pretty good, especially for PvP. Now it's even better, although the depth of the changes for it are going to be PvP related. The only place this really plays a part in is if you're trying to do solo runs, really, and I don't think that this is going to affect that. Well, the defense buff increase might actually help you out. That actually might make running solo run ISCs and stuff a lot easier. SCM or whatever the other parsers call. Got ever so slightly easier. Subspace Beacon. Now, not sure about this one. It was always trash. It's always been trash. The ability to, like, you basically lay a beacon egg and then you fly away and then you trigger it again and you teleport back to the beacon egg or whatever the bloody thing was. Well, brief period of untargetable. Same distance limits of 20 kilometers. Teleport will now reset all threat when threatening stance is not active. So it's a good way to dump threat, I guess. But if you're in a elite run, you don't need to dump threat. For the most part, you have a tank for that. Maybe IS and HSE, but if you're teleporting out of range of what you're firing at. New console, what's the beef? I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Electromagnetic Pulse probe is actually quite interesting. And it should get better use out of it. It is a disable, but it's now scales. Ionic Turbulence, I've always used this before. This is quite a good skill because it double procs Spore Infuse. When you fire off the bloody thing, it'll fire off Spawn Infused, and when it lands, it'll fire off Spawn Infused again. So it's always been good in my books, at least for control builds, certain control builds, but now it's even better. Fuck yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Kinetic Magnet, it's never really been interested, but this is something I am guessing Augie is gonna test the shit out of, because that might be something. Since I'm already using it to trigger uncaught. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was already a control bridge officer ability, but now it's actually, there must have been some things that were not connected properly. Like I think the secondary deflector ability. Same with Ionic Turbulence. I guess it never really counted as a control ability before, even though it triggered, I believe it triggered Uncon as well as some of the other things, but meh. Yeah, Kinetic Magnet, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. I'm sure Augie's gonna test the shit out of it. Surgical Strikes I'm kind of excited about. I don't know how good these changes are. It will definitely require testing, but it should be interesting, like I said, in a ship that has Intel primary and Miracle Worker secondary, where you can fire off a Surgical Strikes 3 backed up with a mixed armament synergy. Me too on some builds. So it should be interesting. Transport warheads. Still not going to do as well as surgical. Yeah, well, the thing is, you'd probably use it on heavy cannons, dual heavy cannons, as like a beam overload for the heavy cannons, and have that as a replacement possibly for rapid fire, since the particular thing for rapid fire is not easily obtainable. The trait that extends rapid fire is not obtainable. Having surgical strike might be actually better than rapid fire if you're using dual heavies. If you're using beams, probably beam overload would be the better choice. However, if you are using a mix of beams and cannons, and then, like I said, using mixed armament synergy, then surgical strikes might be a bit better. Maybe. It still might be like one of those very niche things. Surgical strike sound interesting, but I can't see out doing without a trait to extend it. Yeah. Surgical strikes needs a trait, definitely. Or just a generic trait for all weapon abilities, to extend all weapon abilities. I don't think we're going to get that. It'll be interesting, though. But if you, let's say you want to do single target damage with cannons, then this might be an actual option to try out. It used to be good. It used to be very good. It used to be like almost on par with the old FA. At least something to extend specialization firing mode would be nice. There's not many of them, actually. I think it's only surgical strikes. I don't think there's anything else that affects. Maybe some torpedo things. Well, right now they're saying increased damage multipliers at all rank. Rank 3 went up by 50% damage increase. So, hold on. Do I have an intel ship? Or do I have like an officer? Let's just check. Let's see. Night. $220 of their normal damage. So it's like half the damage increase of beam overload. But additional accuracy and additional crit, that has been reduced to 30% across the board. So it's a little bit of a nerf to. But then there you have the crit severity increase. Crit severity increase might make it actually better. So what we're doing here, 220% increased by 50%. Are we going like 270? Or are we adding 110%? So that it is 330%. I'm not sure how they're going to be calculating that. We'll have to see where that bonus is going. A trait that just covers all three would be nice. Right. Exceed rated limits. That's it. I thought that was. Pilot was just like not an attack pattern at the well, no, there's an attack pattern in pilot. For lazy boat, yeah, and you can fire it off every 15 seconds, but it's a transport warhead, so it's not really. All right, Where is transport warhead? I think. All right. Well, we'll go to the. It's a very expensive ability. All right. Torpedo weapons. The next torpedo launched by your vessel will be transported instantly after a short fuse timer. So you can fire it off every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds, one of your torpedoes, unbuffed, I believe, will penetrate. That's what it's basically doing? Every 15 seconds now, right? And remove the firing arc requirement. I don't see the firing arc here, although the firing arc is on the torpedo, so it removes the. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I would test it out. I don't see it being like anything huge. It's more like a filler ability, basically. If you can fire it off every 15 seconds, then it's a filler ability that you use to proc something else, like a Boimler or something. Spore Infuse, maybe. You can use it to trigger Spore Infuse every 15 seconds. That's actually kind of interesting, maybe. Go back to Twitch. The ones with the... Okay, removing the firing arc with transport warheads makes some interesting possibilities for my lazy boats, the ones with an intel seat. Because of the firing arc. Now you can remove the arc, and yeah, you still don't have to put in like any actual torpedo firing mode. Because it's not gonna... It conflicts. If I remember correctly, torpedo firing modes conflict with the warhead. Just by the way that torpedoes work. You didn't say it was automatically on minimum. That's true. It might be like a 20-second with a 15-second shared cooldown. Otherwise, if it was a 15-second cooldown total, what would the shared cooldown be? 10 seconds? I don't think there's anything with a 10-second cooldown in the game. 10 seconds shared cooldown. So yeah, it's probably going to be 25 or 20 seconds. Or even 30 seconds. It may be a 30-second cooldown with a minimum 15. We'll have to see. If it is just a straight flat 15 seconds and no cooldown reductions or whatnot, it'd be kind of interesting. Maybe. Like I said, it's not really that interested in it at the moment. It's still 2 weeks away, or a week and a half away. Not this Thursday. The Thursday after. Hooray, either cancel or accept. Jeeves, you guys breaking out the fucking timers? What timers? I don't see any timers. Alright. Get new sparsh. This guy. So turning this into a surgical strike boat. That's a thought. It would work pretty well. Is there a ship that is Intel primary and Miracle Worker secondary? Because if you can fire off mixed armament synergy with the surgical strike, hell, even mixed armament synergy and narrow sensor bands on top of surgical strike, the Jovian Raider. Well, shit. Really? The Raider. Legendary. Oh, shit. This guy. It's a lieutenant commander. Okay. These are the only two. Okay. This one would be better. It's a battle cruiser, actually. So yeah, it'd be much better on the battle cruiser than on. No, it's also got a battle cloak on it. Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah, it'll be. This is a ship to try it out on. Then surgical strikes with mixed armament synergy and narrow sensor bands get really up close, up the butt of whoever you're chasing. Decloak and just poof. Hell, even I think you might want to try like a tractor beam. Tractor beam, decloak, tractor beam, open up with surgical strikes, the miracle worker stuff, the mixed armies. I can't speak anymore. You know what I mean. And things go poof in front of you. Although they go poof one at a time, it'll be a single target build, so it's definitely a build that would require support, and it would have a very narrow arc as well. Unlike, say, Beam Overload, which has the arc of dual beam banks, or if you're crazy enough, of ordinary beam banks. We'd have to test it out. It really is a matter of testing things out. Where's the Verity? This is the Verity. Although I kind of want the traits from this guy. So it's 10% damage or bonus damage per subsystem that's above a certain number. If I remember, that's a pretty good trick. No, we're gonna pop out the Verity. If you can keep the subsystems up. Yeah, you have some builds that are set up that way. I remember them. I think I had most of the traits and stuff for that particular build. I was only missing the best diplomat part, so I might pull that. I might give that actually a shot. Let's get the ship, the Baikal. We'll have to think up a better name for it. And yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna have all the shit. Look at all these bloody console. Chevron separation. This is what? Worker B. Sure, I pulled you off. And what shuttle was this? Type 8. We're all recharged on transport warhead is 30 seconds before any CDR. So if they drop that to 15, that could be interesting if it can be reduced more, considering transport warhead procs subspatial warheads. Interesting. I have to test it out. Doesn't it conflict with other torpedo abilities? This is such a good console. Dampening wave emitter, and then this was the Aquarius escort. Okay. Ready to ship. We are gonna build ourselves I guess a torpedo build, huh? Kinetic. How inspired, I know. We had the neutronic, and what was the last torpedo in the bunch there? The Delphic. All the bloody mines on this bloody. Let me catch up here with chat. It does, with the shared cooldown, won't change much, and it won't affect ETM and CFP rocks. The flagship technology is actually a really good set. Yeah, it's always been a really good set, but it's better suited for energy weapons, so we don't really have much use out of those consoles until the Lexington came out, which has better, energy weapon. The Delphic second. Well, it's fine. And then over here we'll just go stand. It won't get too complicated. Wrong shit. Misclicked. Now I have this bloody thing in my inventory. Okay, and then 2-piece, I guess. I'll regen, yeah. I guess. Disable. Do I have an upgrade for this? I do not. Damn it. God damn it. Alright, well, fine. I thought this might actually be a ship that might be worth flying. I have to try it out on my legendary Gal X torp boat. Does that have a intel secondary? I don't remember. It does have an intel secondary. Okay. Damn it. I can't make it. Let me shrink it. If I shrink it there, you guys can see it now. It does have an intel secondary. Or intel primary command secondary. Right. And the problem is it's a commander rank. if you're going for the third one. And the first one, rank 1, is Lieutenant Commander, which is like absolute bullshit. I hate that they did that. That's the old way of doing things, and I guess they didn't fix the ranks. Engineering commander slots are useless without specializations anyways. I guess so. Unless you're doing some kind of a crazy beam build or crazy pen build that's using directed energy modulation 3. I guess there might be some use for aceton beam in certain situations. I know it's an ass of a beam. It's an ass ton of a beam. That one should probably get a redesign. For sure. Definitely. Where was I? I was building a ship. There's a plasma torp. There's a torp. So yeah, I'm still in thought about the actual change. It's gonna bug me for the next week. I tell you guys, I have to I have to test it out. I have to get that intel going. I have to get that surgical strike builds going. Did I ever tell you the story about what I used to do to Jet before? This was a long time ago. So Jet made this is before she started working for Cryptic. She made this super crazy tanker of a ship, a crazy tank for PvP. And she brought it into that system there. What was the name of that system? God damn it. It is... that PvP system, whatever it's called. Wait, it's not showing up on the map here. You know which system I'm talking about. Anyways, she was there in her tank having a jolly old time being unkillable. And I had a Phantom. I had a nice Phantom build going. The Surgical Strike, a Phantom build from back in the day. Karat, thank you. Thank you very much. Karat is what I wanted to say. So I would very sneakily sneak up on her with my Phantom and open up with Surgical Strikes, and poof, there goes her tank. Multiple times in Karat. She did not like that. She got really pissed off. She got really pissed at me. Oh man, those were the days. So yeah, that was a bit of fun. Hey, number 1 engineer nerd. Engine nerds. PS. How do you pronounce your name, man? Rob. Oh, hey, Rob. Okay. Dude, that name, though. It could be... It needs to be longer. It's not long enough. Oh, wait, we were here. Okay. You know what? I don't even feel... Oh, this one has a hangar deck as well. What are you guys talking about? It has a hangar deck right there. Put this guy here. Number 1 engineer DPS. Oh, okay. I see. That's quite a claim. Is it backed up by actually you? Are you actually the number 1? Yes, sir. Fantastic. Okay. Wow. Stu, you got a lot of work to do. Hey, it's not enough to say for now. You actually have to get up there. Do or do not. There is no try. Are Alliance Pet the shit or what? They are the shit. They are literally the shit. Let me actually. Wrong button. I don't feel like flying that ship right now. I want to go back to the flight deck carrier that actually has all the fun stuff on it. Hello. That's a bad ship. Well, let's disable those visuals. Very nice looking. It did not come with the sensor analysis though, so that's a shame. That's a real shame. They should have kept the sensor analysis from the Science Audi and the Yorktown. Let's go back to the Angers. Did I have intel? And I think temporal secondary. I believe that's what I had on this. Hell yeah. So are they the shit? Yes, they are the shit. So they have a beam array and a pulse cannon. So on a ship, say like this one, where it's basically a scatter volley build, but I do have a fire at will running SAD. These pets get both fire at will and scatter volley, so their beams are hitting 2 targets and their cannons are hitting 3 targets, splattering everything with focus assault 3. Fuck yeah, these guys are the shit. They really are the shit. They're great for any kind of competitive or even any run, I would assume. I suspect they're also really good for the tanks that actually run hangar bays. Just the amount of debuff that they do and the amount of damage as well. They're really good at that. Who's that? Berlin, are you still here, Ray? Because I'm about to hit the random button. Let's check. Who else is out there wants to join by... What did you do, Stu? Oh, you posted a link. Bloody hell. I have a few questions about... Okay, never mind. Careful. You know better than that, Stu. Yeah, but I've never allowed links in my channel. And before, even the bloody fucking permit command from the bot doesn't work. So... Yeah. Yeah, he's still here. Anyone else want to come and join us for a random or two? Check Twitter. It's not in my notifications. Why am I not getting notified? Now the question is, do I start an army or do I start a cult? Nice. Whole bunch of people with top hats in a picture on Deep Space Nine. Is that what you were pointing out? Is there anything else? Or is that it? It's an interesting picture, and I wouldn't start a cult. Cults are not good. I don't think you have enough of an evil personality to be a cult leader. I, however, am perfectly suited to leading an evil cult. I'm sorry, Stu, you're just not evil enough. Augie can maybe give you some tips and pointers about being dastardly and evil and tyrannical. Maybe after you take some lessons in being a dictator, it might be more appropriate. Too lazy to lead a cult. There you go. Well, it depends. If you're evil enough, then it kind of runs itself. People will do things for you out of just fear, right? And then you can be evil, or you can be as lazy as you want. I guess no one else is going to join us, so I'm going to hit the random button to make sure I am on my dashboard. And that was a quick pop. That was a ridiculously quick pop. Yeah, this is not good. That's a big carrier on here. Did you make it in Merlin? Map moving. You're still moving maps. Did you get knocked out? It's not do it because I'm evil. More like do it because bananas. Disconnected. Alright, well, you can still make it in. My pets. Let me introduce you to my little pets. Where are my little pets? I'm telling you, these pets are the shit, man. There you is. This is where I'll lose a shit ton of pets. All right, let's get out of the nebula. Of deuterium surplus, and I'm cooled down for my evasives. I'm fortunate. Gonna have to slow boat it a bit. And then this mess, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out in a pug. It's going to be a bit of a mess in a pug, isn't it? Ray, pick a top, bottom, middle. You're probably going to have to cover like 2 zones, depending on how these pugs are. I think I'll cover. Well, I'll just get these guys. Guys get stuck in the walls. And there's some like right there. What am I telling you? Remember that from the last time we played this, there are things that get stuck in the wall. It's annoying. Can I target this guy? Yeah, man. I think this guy's got it, but there's one guy down there, and there's a couple up there. Where'd he go? He's dead. All right, never mind. Oh boy, this one's closer. These guys, so many. Right down there. I see you. And there's another one below me somewhere as well. And one above, but there's someone above me. Where'd these guys go? Oh, there's even more down there. I forgot to mention the music is by Sphinx tonight. I don't think I saw him here before tonight. How much do we have? 25 seconds? I can smell some decent food. And I accidentally clicked need on that. I meant to click pass. Oh well. Sorry about that. Getting out the time. Alrighty. I'm gonna call it here. It's a bit early, shorter stream. Unfortunate, but I have to go grab me some dindins, some dinner, and I will do the rest of the ship build off stream. So I'll do a stream in the future very soon with some of these new ships. Now that I have them and have those ability to get those really sweet traits. Let's check my live channels channel. There we go. We're gonna raid Nimmer Comedy, guys. Thank you, Mad Dog. We're gonna go chill out with him for a bit. I actually might just go grab some food and come back and just chill on his particular stream. Hasn't started yet. He's still in the pre-roll. But I hope you guys had a good evening, and we will head back. And we will be back sometime soon, probably tomorrow or something. We'll see how it works out. Anyways, have a good night. This is the Low-Life Cat signing out. And we'll catch up to you guys very soon again.